It's looking like a homecoming. Guys, it's looking like another homecoming. What am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than the legend himself, Super 8, Super number 8, Super Frankie Lampard, on his way back to the club, Chelsea FC, the only club in London that matters, and to come back as Chelsea's caretaker manager till the ending of this season. Guys, welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. Guys, y'all already know that we don't even have a manager as we speak. As I mentioned in a previous video, Bruno Salter is nowhere near equipped to be an interim manager. That's just the reality. I mean, if I could see it, surely Todd Bowley and everybody else could see it. I mean, you look, this is not like Di Matteo taking over, or any of the other assistant managers that we had that under Roman, that you could have said, okay, can you hold on to this job for the last 1 month? No, this is a chap that has never coached before in his life. He's barely even been an assistant, a manager in terms of Bruno Salter. So given that Chelsea has the all-important Real Madrid games coming up, and I don't know about y'all. I mean, if you guys watched the El Clasico, today, whereby Real Madrid went to the Camp Nou and just utterly destroyed Barcelona 4-0 in front of their home fans. Vini scored 1 goal. Benzema scored a hat-trick. And as of right now, Real Madrid, their eyes are pretty much set on waiting for Chelsea to arrive at the Bernabeu on Tuesday. So, I mean, Chelsea needs, somebody that at least has managed a club before. Obviously, given the, circumstances of the role, the interim managerial role, the so-called caretaker manager role, you're not gonna, convince any sort of world-class manager to come and hold down this job for like a month and a half. So that's where we are, and luckily for us, our boy Frank Lampard is out of work after he was fired by Everton about a month or so ago, and it is what it is. Lampard is in the point of his career where he's still trying to find himself as a manager. I mean, that's just real talk. I mean, we've seen him. He was formerly a Chelsea manager. A credit to Lampard. In his first season as Chelsea's manager, he helped us finish 4th in the Premier League, and that was with a squad that is way nowhere near as talented as the current squad that he will be taking over from. Now, obviously, he then went on to get fired in his second season, after which Tuchel took over the reins, ironically during Champions League, and then went all the way and won the Champions League for Chelsea with that same team that Lampard was struggling to get a proper tune out of. And that was in 2021. That was only 2 years ago. So, here we are. It seems like things have gone full, circle here for Lampard, because he's exactly where he was about 2 years ago. The only difference is, rather than him being on his way out, he's on his way back in. And guys, sometimes in life, that's just how, things go. I mean, you can't cry over, spilled milk per se. Sometimes you just gotta listen. Good things are gonna happen. Bad things are gonna happen, and sometimes you don't have any control over what's gonna happen. All you have a control over is just what you do, the decisions that you make, keeping your head down, just keep on grinding, and that's what has happened. For better or worse, Lampard has found himself back on the Chelsea hot seat on an interim basis. Hopefully in a time to take over the team against Wolves this, I believe, Saturday, against Wolves on Saturday, and then Real Madrid on Tuesday, which is really the main game. The only games that Chelsea fans care about as of right now really is just those two Real Madrid games, and just seeing what happens in the league in terms of hopefully getting the players ready for the Real Madrid game. So now Lampard back, what does that mean for the club? What can we expect, good and bad? Well, we already know Lampard. He was here again not too long ago, just 2 years ago. On the positive side, you're gonna get attacking football from Lampard. Obviously, as a player, he was an attacking midfield, an attacking box-to-box player. Midfielder, scored a whole bunch of goals. As Chelsea player, he's obviously a legend. One of the best midfielders of all time, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of scoring goals. So while he was at Chelsea, we primarily played a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So those are sort of like the two, like when we played the 4-2-3-1, Lampard had Jorginho and Kova, or Jorginho and Kante in midfield. He would normally play two of those guys. He rarely would play the three unless he wanted to go for a straight up 4-3-3. So I don't recall. I know he had played a few games with five at the back, but that's not his preference. So now, obviously, given the fact that we've played since he left, Chelsea has very much been primarily a five at the back team until Potter came in this season and attempted to switch us back to four at the back. Obviously, that didn't work out, and Potter's is out, and here we are. So we may be going back to four at the back, 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 with Lampard. But basically, the bottom line is, Lampard is about trying to score a lot of goals. So now how does that apply with regards to Real Madrid? Obviously, Real Madrid is again, I mentioned they just went to Barcelona and just totally destroyed them at the Camp Nou 4-0 today. So against Barcelona, if I had to take a wild guess, Lampard would probably execute either a 4-3-3 or he's just going to go to five at the back, even a 3-5-2. Something that where he will have three midfielders on the field. He's most likely probably going to go with that 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 against against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. So what else can we expect from Frank Lampard? Well, we can if you're Mason Mount, you're going to be jumping and dancing with joy, because that means that your daddy, your quote unquote daddy, is back. That means you're now back in business. So Mount is now back in the business. So he's happy. Lampard is back. Mason Mount's going to be back on the field. And in fairness to Mount, if we're going to be playing with three midfield central midfielders, well then Mount has to be on the field. Otherwise, our three, we're not going to get that much attacking impetus from any of our three midfield trio, as we painfully found out yesterday against Liverpool, where Kovacic was just missing goals left and right. And then as I mentioned, he's Lampard is basically one of us. He's a legend. He's a manager, regardless of the difficulties that he's had as a manager at Everton and even at Chelsea. His second season at Chelsea. He's still a manager that will command certain amount of respect in the locker room, and that these younger players need that. On the disadvantageous side of things, again, if you all already know, Chelsea fans, defensively, under Lampard, our team was just poor. We were terrible defensively. We were just shipping goals left and right. On pretty much any kind of way. Counter attacks, we will just concede. Set pieces, we will concede. It was just crazy. And of course, if you're Kepa, bro, if you're Kepa, you're not happy. You don't want to see Lampard. If you're Mendy, well, yeah, Mendy's probably going to be dancing, because Lampard will probably prefer Mendy over Kepa in goal. So that right there is a question mark. If you are Kepa, then you probably not sleeping too well at night right now with Lampard back in business. And then just as I mentioned, the only other concern for me in terms of Lampard as our interim coach is he's not the most tactical minded manager. In terms of he's nothing like Tuchel. In terms of a manager that will see the game, understand what's happening, and make timely subs and timely adjustments in shape to mitigate issues or to take advantages of weaknesses in the other team. Lampard is not that kind of he's not really at that level of development as a manager. He's gonna have his plan A, and that's pretty much it. If it's working, it's working. If it's not working, well, it's gonna be rough. And so, so how do I feel about Frank Lampard back in business? Well, I'm obviously I'm a Chelsea fan first. So, I'm always happy to see a legend, back, wearing the badge, and it's just for an interim basis. So I'm happy that Lampard is back. In terms of as expectation wise, guys, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't see this. I would love to see it as the second coming of Di Matteo, but I just don't see it. I don't see 2012 happening, and I sure as heck don't see 2021. I hope to be proven wrong. How do y'all guys feel about Frank Lampard back at the club? Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe. Take care, and God bless you all. Peace.